Right, ladies and gentlemen, my football fans, where y'all at? Where y'all at? I'm back. I'm back with another one. Hey, this African Cup of Nations, it never ceases to amaze me. To be honest with y'all, it doesn't cease to amaze me. The shocking result. I'm sure you guys have been waiting for me to do an analysis on this one, right? The most shocking result in the history of the African Nations Cup. I mean, this is just the 34th edition, but this has to go down as the most shocking result of the history in the African Cup of Nations. Equatorial Guinea 4, the host nation Ivory Coast 0. Imagine when your legends are watching in the stands. Didier Drogba, Solomon Kalou, those are two legends that have emerged from this country, from this nation. Solomon Kalou as well as Didier Drogba. Imagine having your legends sitting in the stands, looking at, their team embarrass them on their home turf, where they are supposed to be capitalizing on home ground advantage, ensuring that they secure a third African Cup of Nations title. But no, Ivory Coast, they mess up again as a host nation. I mean, think about it. Ivory Coast had this game in the bag. They were supposed to have sealed this game by the 40th minute. They should have sealed this game a long time ago. Nicolas Pepe, he had an opportunity one-on-one with the goalkeeper. He was just trying to be too clever, trying to round the goalkeeper. But Nicolas Pepe, bruh, you've got the ability, you've got the potential, bruh. What you should have done was just to chip the ball over the goalkeeper. There was no need for you to round the goalkeeper, because Jesus Ovono is very tall. He's got long hands. What Nicolas Pepe was supposed to do, he was supposed to have chipped that ball over the goalkeeper. Once the goalkeeper had committed himself, right? What Pepe was supposed to do was chip the ball over the goalkeeper. Sankare as well, he had opportunities of his own. Fofana, his decision making was very poor. Casey was in the game as well. He did influence the game. But the problem with Frank Casey is that after that altercation, after that missed chance by Nicolas Pepe, and then for just a few minutes later, when they were supposed to have that water break, there was an altercation between Frank Casey and certain players or members of staff of the Equatorial Guinea bench. I don't know what was the altercation all about, but following that, that incident, Frank Casey was just unable to effect the game. Cote d'Ivoire dominated the game. They dominated the encounter. They created the better of the chances. But they were not clinical. They were just not clever enough. Their crossing was very poor. Their passing was very poor. Decision making was dismal. The defending was dreadful. The shooting as well. Shots at goal, they were just not clinical. They were, wayward, woeful in front of goal. I mean, they missed clear-cut goal-scoring opportunities. They had almost like 20, clear-cut goal-scoring opportunities, but they didn't take them. You ask yourself, where did they leave their scoring boots at home? Is it because maybe they were lacking their talisman, their target man, Sebastian Haller, who's unfortunately he couldn't feature because he was still nursing a minor injury. He was not 100% fit to partake in the group stages, but nevertheless, Ivory Coast is a team that is blessed with quality. Nicolas Pepe, Kone, Jeremy Boga, Frank Kessie, Seko Fofana, Ibrahim Sangare, players like Gradle, players like John Philippe Crasso. They blessed with quality, but they were just misfiring. How on earth is it that you have got you've got players who are playing at a high level. A major tournament is happening in your country, right? You're the host nation, you've got the fans, you've got the advantage, you've got so many things around you, but you still fail to make an impression. I mean, Equatorial Guinea, literally, they scored in the 42nd minute of the game against the run of play, literally against the run of play. And guess who got it? The inform, Emilio Insue, the man who got the hat-trick against Guinea-Bissau. The man who got the hat-trick against Guinea-Bissau, scoring his 4th goal of the tournament against the run of play. It was just unbelievable. Unbelievable. Second half, obviously, Ivory Coast came out guns blazing. Ibrahim Sankare had a wonderful opportunity just at the beginning of the second half. What on earth was he doing? You did not have to go for power from close range. You did not have to go for power. He just literally ballooned his effort from close range. He did not have to go for power. He should have just picked his spot and placed the ball and put it in the back of the net. He just decided to go for power and blast his effort over the bar when he was just supposed to pick his spot and place the ball in the back of the net. He went for power. Remember before, right on the brink of the halftime break, Ibrahim Sankare almost scored. Zangare, he did score, right? Unfortunately, it was ruled out for offside. I guess even that was a point in time where even Nicolas Pepe, kind of redeemed himself with a great cross into the box. And Ivory Coast, that's what led to their equalizer. But unfortunately, it was disallowed for offside by the video assistant referee. That was a right call. He was just inches offside. Just inches. Unfortunately, you just got to time those runs, man. Again, they had another opportunity. This time, Kone of Fiorentina, the Fiorentina winger, one-on-one with Jesus Avono, the Fiorentina man. Guess what he did? He just shot straight to the goalkeeper. I mean, when you're one-on-one with the goalkeeper, if you're just going to shoot the ball straight to the goalkeeper, it means you're not intending to score at all. You're not intending to score at all. Truth must be said. Because if you're going to hit the ball, you're one-on-one with the goalkeeper, you're going to hit the ball straight to the goalkeeper. Straight to the goalkeeper. It means you're not intending to score. I mean, I couldn't understand. I just could not believe how Ivory Coast were missing such clear goal-scoring opportunities. I would give credit to him had he at least gone on the side. Maybe had it hit the post or had it gone inches wide of the goal. Then I would say, okay, he tried. But now when you're hitting it straight, when you one-on-one with the goalkeeper, you shoot it straight to the goalkeeper. What do you expect? It means you're not intending to score. I just couldn't believe it. It was unbelievable. And to the viewers at home, you might think that your viewers at home that didn't watch the game between Ivory Coast and Equatorial Guinea, you might think that Ivory Coast were outplayed. No, they were not outplayed. They were just outclassed. They were just outclassed. There's a difference between being outplayed and being outclassed. And Ivory Coast certainly in this game were just outclassed. Equatorial Guinea were way more clinical than the hosts. Again, Ivory Coast had another goal disallowed. Jean-Philippe Crasso, the man who scored a brilliant second in the first game, in the opening game of the tournament against Guinea-Bissau. Again, he scored a brilliant curling effort, going right into the ricocheting of the post, going into the back of the net, sending the stadium in a frenzy. The Ivorians were happy. They were sent in a frenzy. But again, unfortunately, it didn't count. Due to what? Slight offside. Video assistant referee had to also intervene. And again, it was a slight offside, unfortunately. But before that, Ivory Coast have got themselves to blame. Despite the fact that they had 2 goals disallowed, they still had a lot of opportunities. They had so many clear-cut goal-scoring opportunities. They should have wrapped the game way before even Equatorial Guinea got, their first sniff at goal, which was that first goal that they scored in the 42nd minute on the brink of halftime against the run of play. They should have long sealed the game. But they didn't do it. They didn't do it. And that's how football is. You don't take your chances, you will get punished. And Ivory Coast certainly were punished. They had to learn the hard way. And guess what happened? A free kick in a dangerous area. Whoa. You might not believe me when I say this, but I'm telling you, I knew it was going to go in. I mean, that free kick was in a very good position. It was in a very good position. And it just needed a clinical right footer that can put that ball into the back of the net. And guess who did it? Guess who did it? Right in the 73rd minute. At a time when Ivory Coast, they just did not need to concede a set piece in a dangerous area, especially in their own half. They didn't need to do that. But unfortunately, it happened. Unfortunately, it happened. And guess who did it? Pablo Ganet. What a brilliant free kick, man. Pablo Ganet. The man who plays for, Alcoyano, right? Basically, it's like literally in the Premier Federación in the Spanish football. That's basically the third tier of Spanish football, right? A man who was also born in Spain, Pablo Ganet, literally scoring his 5th international goal for Equatorial Guinea in the 73rd minute. And guess what happened? We got the shock of our lives. The stadium was dead silent. Dead silent. Just 90 minutes later, again, Nsue getting his 5th goal of the tournament, bagging his brace, placing the ball into the back of the net, showing the Ivorian strikers how it's done. Literally, he showed them how it's done. Because Ivory Coast have to blame themselves for their woeful finishing. But Nsue showed them how it's done. What a brilliant counter-attack. I mean, following the fact that Ivory Coast, when they conceded that second goal, their defense was ripped apart. It was split wide open. It was easy for Equatorial Guinea to counter-attack. You understand? Open them up. Open them up. And that's exactly what they did. They punished them. What a game of football that was. And again, we got the shock of our lives. Just 2 minutes before the game was about to end. Again, Equatorial Guinea scored the 4th to send shockwaves across the continent as well as the footballing world. Yannick Baila. You understand? A man who plays for SD Logorons in Spain, also in the Premier Federación. A brilliant goal, once again, from a counter-attack. Great save by Fofana, but unfortunately on the rebound, hey man, the boy was there. Yannick was there. Yannick Bugla, he was there to actually capitalize on the rebound. Game match said and done. Côte d'Ivoire, if they are to really qualify for the knockout stages, I would say, the footballing gods are on their side. They will be very lucky. They will be very fortunate if they are to qualify for the next round. They will be very fortunate. Very fortunate indeed. Because look, think about this, right? Ivory Coast, right? The last time Ivory Coast hosted the African Nations Cup, right? The African Cup of Nations, I meant to say. They failed to reach the knockout stages, which was in 1984. In 1984, the last time Ivory Coast hosted the African Cup of Nations, they failed to reach the knockout stages. History might be repeating itself. So basically now in this tournament, Ivory Coast will have to rely on other results in order to avoid a shock group exit. I guess Ivory Coast should never host an African Cup of Nations. Because clearly it seems like instead of bringing good fortune, it's actually bringing bad luck. It's just like the weird the weird irony of football at times. It's actually like it's like a contradiction that it's very difficult to actually understand. You host a competition, you're a big side, you're the most fancied opponent amongst the favorites to win it in your home, in your own backyard, but you fail. You get knocked out in the group stages, and they're on the brink of doing it. It'll really be a miracle. It'll require a miracle for them to go to the next round. Because I clearly don't see Namibia losing to Mali. I don't see Namibia losing to Mali at all. It means, in order for them to qualify, South Africa are going to have to lose against Tunisia, which is not going to happen. And Namibia have to lose as well against Mali in order for Côte d'Ivoire to qualify for the next round, and which is not going to happen. Yes, they had hopes because Ghana also bowed out following a 2-2 draw against Mozambique, which only means that the Black Stars of Ghana, the 4-time champions of the African Cup of Nations, finish only on 2 points, meaning that they're out. They're out. They will take no further part in this tournament. Imagine Equatorial Guinea topping a group of Nigeria and Ivory Coast, the big guns. Hey, this is a fairy tale, hey? It's like Hollywood. This is just Hollywood. You know, football Hollywood in Africa. Literally, unbelievable, undespicable, and impeccable stuff that we watched. You know, Guinea-Bissau, Nigeria also, in another unconvincing performance, they were also able to scrape through to the next round, only scoring 3 goals, I meant to say. 1 own goal, 1 from the penalty spot, and just 1 goal from open play. They have only been able to net 3 goals in 3 games. But hey, it was enough to secure them qualification. Nigeria finishing the group on 7 points. Same with Equatorial Guinea, but Equatorial Guinea just had a better goal difference. You know, just a better goal difference. So Nigeria did get their goal. You know, it was an own goal by Opa Sangate. Unfortunately, there was nothing that the defender could do. The Guinea-Bissau defender, there was nothing that he could do to actually prevent that ball, to actually defend that. Because Moses Simon crossed that ball with so much speed and so much accuracy that, you know, trust me, I also know it's very hard to defend those ones sometimes. It's very hard to defend them. And unlucky to Opa Sangate, you know, for putting the ball into the back of his own net in the 36th minute of the game. And as for we know, you know, it was a day of disallowed goals. We saw Ivory Coast having 2 goals disallowed correctly for offside. And in this game between Guinea-Bissau and Nigeria had 2 goals disallowed, you know, due to a handball by Victor Osimhen. And then we also saw another disallowed own goal on the side of Guinea-Bissau. Frank Colina Jew had a goal disallowed for a tight offside. So yeah, it is what it is. I guess it's a situation whereby they have so much room for improvement. There's so much room for improvement on the side of the Super Eagles. Okay? Although they might be through to the next round, but this certainly, you know, was not a performance. You know, it's a performance that will certainly not silence the critics, you know, because they really struggled to, you know, control the game against Guinea-Bissau, right? Who are just ranked outside the top 100 teams in the world. And often they left their star striker, Victor Osimhen, pretty isolated at the top. So the threat actually came from the wide areas, you know, which was actually provided by Moses Simon, who actually got the assist and deservedly got the man of the match, you know. So, yeah.